Hey, yesterday I talked about emotional eating and I told you the super embarrassing spaghetti story. And I promised that today I would teach you how to do belief breakthrough, which is a really powerful thought process that lets you change your subconscious beliefs about yourself and helps you start getting the results you want in your life. So, this is my belief breakthrough journal, and I have been recording them since May. My first one's May 27th. And I don't remember to write them down every day, but I do write a lot of them down. So I'm going to tell you the steps, and while I do it, I'm going to go through one of my old belief breakthroughs. So the first step is to ground, and if you're not familiar with that, it basically is getting calm and ready for hearing answers from your subconscious, from your inspiration, from your intuition. And so, what I do is I take like 4 or 5 really deep breaths and just focus on my breathing. And then I sometimes imagine a light coming down, and like a beam of light coming down through the top of my head, through my body, and as it goes through my body, it fills it with light and pushes out all the doubt and the confusion and fear, and then goes all the way through me to the ground and into the core of the earth, and then back up through me and back up to heaven, God, whatever. And so that flow of kind of heavenly light and inspiration is going through me. So that's how I ground. And then the next step is to ask what your number one limiting belief is right now. So you can say it that way. You can say, what is my number one limiting belief coming up for me right now? And then just be open to the answer. And the key to belief breakthrough is listening to your gut and the first thing that comes up. Whatever pops into your mind first is the thing your subconscious wants to work on. So always trust it. So, I'm going to do this one. This is from July 2nd. So my limiting belief I came up with that day was, I give up when things get hard or confusing. And so once you have your limiting belief, then you say, okay, when I say that, what's the first memory that pops into my head? So when I say I give up when things get hard or confusing, the first thing that pops into my head is learning French when it got like to the advanced level, and I didn't know all the vocabulary anymore, and I didn't know all the conjugations, like the obscure ones, and so I got confused and I gave up and I switched majors. This was in college. I had 4 years of French in high school, 2 years of French in college. And at the end of year 2, I was getting into the pretty advanced French, and I was just like, I can't do this. My brain won't work. And so I gave up and I switched majors to like 3 different majors. It was crazy. So I ended up getting an art degree later at a different college after I quit and went back a few years later. So, if that is what I believe, then I have to give up at stuff when they get hard. So, the decision I made about myself, that's the next step. Ask yourself, what decision did I make about myself when that happened? And the decision I made was, let me think for a second. What did I decide about myself? I decided that I'm not smart enough. So, if that is my true belief about myself, well, not true. We know that's not true. But if that's the core belief I have about myself, then it shows up in my life. And so the next step is to look at the cost of believing that. And you can see the cost by the results you're getting. So if I believe I'm not smart enough, then I can't, okay, for instance, I've tried doing an online store in the last year, and some of it is really advanced. The marketing, what do you call it? Like all the details of marketing and Facebook ads and targeting and finding your ideal audience and stuff. And that just, it's really hard. It's really hard to me. And I took a class, and the class was next to useless. And so that kind of reinforced that I'm just not smart enough. And so if I keep believing that I'm not smart enough, in the next 10 or 20 years, what kind of results am I going to get? Well, I'm going to give up when things get complex. And so I'm not going to reach my biggest goals. I'll just give up and do the easy ones. So I'll miss out on a lot of opportunities for growth and for service and fulfilling my purpose. So the next step is to ask yourself if you are willing to give that belief up and replace it with a better one. And so I do. I give myself permission to shift to a better belief. So then you come up with a new belief, and there's 3 rules. Keep it in the present tense. So don't say like, I will or I can, because those are vaguely in the future at some point. So always make it right now, present tense, as if it is already happening. So basically lie to yourself, but about something good that you want to make your life better. So my new belief could be, I learn and adapt easily to new situations and succeed at my goals. Okay, so that's a great one. So when you have your new belief, the next step is to ask yourself, would it serve me to go back and rewrite that memory? And if it does, then take a trusted advocate with you. That could be anybody you trust completely, and that you know would give you the exact right words of encouragement or insight into the situation. And you can either rewrite it so it happens differently in your memory, or you can reinterpret it so that you see it in a different light that is no longer negative. So I think I will go back, and I think I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to rewrite that memory, and I am going to stay in French. And when I start doing badly in that one class, it was like advanced French literature or something. And I had to read, I don't remember what it was, something by Victor Hugo, but in the original French. And it was like this thick. It was huge. And I think that's when I gave up. So my best highest self would come. I like her. She comes a lot to my rewrites. So my best highest self comes and tells me that I can learn this if I focus and make more time to study. And tell myself every day, this is easy. I've got this. French comes easily to me in every form, from beginning to advanced. So I do. I start saying that. That's my new affirmation. And I start building new neural pathways, and the advanced French becomes easier and easier. And so when you rewrite your memory, then you can celebrate it. So in order to celebrate that, I am going to, oh, and you can celebrate it now or you can celebrate it in your memory. And so I'm going to celebrate it in my memory by since it's made up anyway, I'm going to plan a trip to France in my memory. Yeah, that's a good celebration. Okay, so I'm going to plan a trip and I'm going to go to France and I'm going to practice my French. Yeah, that's a good celebration. That makes me happy. Part of the reason for having the celebration of your new memory is that you want to replace the old memory with not only a new memory of what happened, but a good feeling about it. Emotion makes it stick. Emotion is what makes negative thoughts stick also. So positive emotion about your new belief helps it stick into your subconscious. So the next step is, okay, there's just one step left, and that is to ground again and ask yourself, what is my next step to anchor this belief in my subconscious? So if my next step is I learn and adapt easily and successfully reach my goals, then I need to ask myself, what is my next step in truly believing my new belief that I learn quickly and easily adapt and successfully reach my goals. Okay, what I'm getting is to make a list of all the goals I have reached and things I have learned that have helped me reach those goals. And when I do those, when I get a writing assignment for my belief breakthrough next step, I try to do it in my breakthrough journal just to keep it all together. So the most important thing about your inspired next step is to do it within 24 hours. And if you don't do it, then your new belief will be weak and it won't anchor as tightly in your subconscious. A really important thing about belief breakthrough is that you can have the same breakthrough over and over again, because if you think about a limiting belief, it's like a diamond and it has hundreds of facets. So when you do a belief breakthrough, if you keep getting the same thing over and over, it's okay. It's good, actually. It means that you're really digging deep and getting out every root of that belief. And there's big, giant core beliefs, and then there's little, like, satellite beliefs that are a result of the big core one. And so once you get the big core one, it gets a lot easier. And everybody has lots of core ones. So really, you should do a belief breakthrough every single day, probably for the rest of your life, because we're forming new limiting beliefs constantly. So there will always be some negative thought in your subconscious that you can find and replace. Search and destroy, find and replace. So that is how you do a belief breakthrough. I hope this video wasn't too long, but that is the long version. There is also a short version, which I will show you tomorrow, but that was the long version of belief breakthrough. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be giving some awesome training tips, guidelines, ideas for learning how to love yourself, because I think that loving yourself is the key to solving all of life's problems. If we love ourselves more, everything else goes better. We make better decisions. We are a better influence in the world. And so that's my mission in life. My purpose is to find people that that need to learn to love themselves and help them do that. So that's the purpose of this channel. So subscribe, because I'm going to have lots of awesome things to share. And I'm going to try really hard to do it daily. So far, I've done it every day. And in fact, I did 2 yesterday. So stick around, subscribe, share this channel, share this video if you know anybody that's struggling with self-love or self-esteem issues. So that's it. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.